I saw an article this week, and as a parent of an autistic child, this was alarming. IPSIA, that's the independent provider of special education advice, one of the leading legal education charities in this country, published a piece flagging a report by the Runnymede Trust and the Communities Empowerment Network. The report is called History on Loop, the sustained impact of school exclusions on black communities. And what it documents is something that every black parent of a child with SEND needs to understand. Black children with special education needs and disabilities are being disproportionately excluded from schools, and a significant number of those exclusions are unlawful, meaning the school broke the law, meaning your child's rights that are written in statute protected by the Equality Act of 2010, protected by the Children and Families Act 2014, were violated. Now, as a parent of an autistic child, the reason this hits me so personally is because I understand the vulnerability of this. When your child has SEND, they're already navigating a system that is under-resourced, overstretched, and not designed with them in mind. Getting the right support is already a battle. The EHCP process is already a battle. Getting the schools to implement what's in the plan, that's already a battle. And now you add race on top of that. You add the fact that black children, black Caribbean children specifically, are already excluded from schools at rates that have been described by researchers as a persistent, decades-long crisis. The Runnymede Trust report found that rather than being used as a genuine last resort, exclusions are regularly deployed prematurely against black children. And schools have been found to be using them to remove low-performing students in order to protect their exam results. These children are not a safeguarding issue, they're a data problem that schools want to make disappear. Now, when you hold that pattern alongside SEND, what you get is a double exposure. Your child is more likely to be excluded because they're black. They're more likely to be excluded because they have additional needs. And when those two things meet in the same child, the risk increases. And there's an important historical reference point here I think people need to know. In the 60s and 70s, black Caribbean children were being systematically misclassified as educationally subnormal and placed into separate schools that offered them no academic future. Bernard Cord wrote about this in 1971. And here's what I need every black parent watching this to understand, particularly if your child has an EHCP or is on the SEND register. If your child is excluded, you have the right to challenge it. Informal exclusions, where a school asks you to keep your child home without issuing formal paperwork, are illegal. Schools cannot simply ring you and say, don't bring them in tomorrow. That is unlawful exclusion. You have the right to a formal process. You have the right to appeal. But the system is counting on you not to know that. It is counting on you being exhausted, feeling alone, and trusting that the school knows best. And they don't always know best. And in too many cases, they're breaking the law. So know your rights and challenge every informal request to keep your child home. And if you need legal support, IPSIA has a free advice line. This is about our children's future, and it's not something I'm willing to stay quiet about.